This does not feel nice. Something's happened. I've gone on a weird angle. You might want to pull the winch out. This is definitely the most snow. This is the most snow you've ever been in, isn't it, Kai? High Country track. Probably one of the most famous tracks in the High Country, if not Australia.
This is our moment. This is our moment. This is our moment. This is our moment. Gladiator in the Civil War. What you think that I've been fighting for? Got a cape on like a superhero. They rushing at me.
If you choose to go, you can't change your mind. Stay committed. No turnaround spots.
I'm striving my people up. Straight to the roof. Tell them we bringing the troops. We got a little surprise. You thinking that we ain't the truth. We give it 120. We never make an excuse. So go run and tell everybody down that we coming for you.
That was honestly ridiculous. I regret doing that in these conditions. Such an awesome spot here on the junction of these two rivers. You got this big swimming hole here. Sort of soaked up the sun this morning after a couple of days in the snow. It was still super cool down here last night in the end. It's amazing, this area, you know, you can go from mountain camps down to river camps up into the snow. Sort of throws all different things at you that you have to be prepared for. We've packed up camp. I'm just going to have a swim and then we're going to head on up out of here, out that way. A little bit steep coming up out of this creek here, and there's a couple of holes here. Just chuck that rear locker in. See the difference there of having that locker. When you run out of suspension travel, it keeps you going. Hopefully this wind isn't too bad on the microphone. I think I'm protected here. Oh man, it's cold. We're back up near the top of Mount Skeen after we left McAllister River this morning. We sort of wound our way through all the back tracks, coming for Barkley River Jeep track, and then accidentally ended up at the start of Mount Sunday track. But I put something up on Instagram and people said, no, you're at the wrong spot. So we're now at Barkley River Jeep track, which is a sort of short track up the side of the mountain on Mount Skeen, I think it is. It's bloody freezing out here again. But yeah, we're going to give it a crack. Definitely a challenging track from what I've seen. I've never driven it. Hopefully it's not too wet because there's still bits of snow out here as well. If it's wet, then it may be deadly.
I do not recommend entering, but if you have a
work car, send it.
Yeah.
If you choose to go, you can't change your mind. Stay committed, no turnaround spots. Holy dooly, it's cold. Guys out there standing out there, probably freezing, taking photos. I put heaps of clothes on him though. Yeah, it's quite off camber, this first section. Ride it out. They've filled up with logs to try and take away some of that camber. Just not sure how slippery it is. Another guy coming up here behind me as well. Here's down the bottom, Andy. I think something kicked up under my car. I'm just going to hop out and check it. Bloody big log kicked up under the car. That was a big log that flicked up under. Lucky I stopped and got it out. This next section's looking fairly rugged. So tight, there's nothing you can do. Just straight up and really see how your car performs and throttle control and all that stuff. First gear rear locker in. This may be a no-go. It might be just too slippery. Okay, sweet, thank you. I just popped a couple of treads under, got the throttle controller up on 9, got the rear locker in, nothing else I can do at this point. I'll just see what happens, if not I'll probably have to winch.
Spread them out.
Did that just kick him away? I'll go right back. I'll just give it one more go, if not I might have to pop the winch out. We're gonna have to winch this bit, it's just too slippery, the car's just slipping. There's a big, decent sized step up there and tried the tracks and everything and not getting through. So I'll winch up this bit, and then hopefully as we get higher it'll start to dry out. I know it gets more rocky as it gets higher as well. Yeah, I've got the winch set up and I'll pull it up now. I'm pulling this winch in, pull me up. It's gonna be slippery through all this section, but I'll see how I go. I just sort of let the winch pull rather than madly spinning wheels everywhere here trying to break things like I was already doing a minute ago. Do you reckon you could unhook that? Yep. And I'll see if I can drive it? There's still bits of snow all over the side of the track as well. Just take it section by section. It's not a long track, it's only maybe a K long. It's just challenge after challenge. Yeah, the sun's out, should dry out. Once it gets to drier, then it's challenging, but at least I'll be able to get traction. It's just this bottom section where it's slippery on the rocks. I have to pull this winch out again, it's just so slippery. Maybe I shouldn't have done this one today.
Pardon me and my tongue. You can't step to my throne. They ain't working like me. I did this on my own. You asking where we been? I don't know where to begin.
Gonna pump that throttle controller up to 9, try and get up over this bit. How you going? It's cold?
Yes.
How's the view, bud? The view on this track is incredible. It's definitely a hectic track. In the dry it would still be hectic, but not as bad. But with that slippery surface, it's really just like you got to get momentum to get up things. It's pretty crazy. Done a bit of rock packing here on this next section because there's quite a big step. I think I can swing the front end around it, but the back's probably going to hit it a bit. I've started to go on a bit of a weird angle here. This front started to lift. Oh, am I dropping down? What's happened? Feels very peculiar, see?
It kind of tires on a real weird spot.
This does not feel nice. Something's happened. I've gone on a weird angle. You might want to pull the winch out. Can you get through there? Yeah, I just can't see what's going on. It doesn't feel nice. Yeah, that feels much nicer as that front end comes down. That was bad, and like when you're tipping, I'm looking down there at a big rollover down off the side of the mountain. So you're tipping to not a nice looking place. You just get out of the car and just fall off the side of the mountain. Yeet! Wow. You could have closed the door, you know. All-time views. Just a all-time hectic track. What do you reckon, the track, Kai? Pretty fun?
No, I hated it.
You hate it?
Yeah.
Well, if it was dry, it would have been easier.
Yeah.
But it's just still wet from the snow. So maybe don't do it when it snowed like 2 days earlier. Those switchbacks are nuts, and like, you don't want to go. Look, it's still snow on the track here in bits. There's just nothing more I can do. Like, I've picked all the lines, I've given it heaps of power. Not anymore, and I'll either break something or roll it. Those rocks are just like slicks. They're just so slippery. So I'm just gonna have to winch.
It's not a game while you playing with me. You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins. Something you can't tame, cause I break the chains.
After we winched through that section, we continued up just hoping there wasn't any more winching to do, but the track just would not let up. And there was more hard sections as we went up, so I was back to winching again.
Please excuse me, your honor, but you can't hold me no longer. Can't you feel the vibration? Broke out and left traces. Go ahead, try to catch me if you can, man. You be looking all night, I'm a Sandman. New York, long things in Japan. Never saw the whole world from a hand. All these rumors, fake words. All these chances I touched them.
We're up off Barkley River Jeep track. That was honestly ridiculous. I regret doing that in these conditions.
No.
It's so windy and cold. There was that mud up on the side of that hill was so wet. There's still bloody snow everywhere. That's how cold and wet it is out here. So yeah, that was ridiculous. But anyways, we're up now. What was that, 6 winches to get up there? It took like 3 or 4 hours. Kai had a great time.
I hate you.
We found a little spot here. Andy, who helped us, he was sort of down the bottom. He watched the videos too, and then he happened to be down the bottom when we were going to do it. He was going to do it too, but then once he saw the condition of it, he decided to go around because he doesn't have a locker and he's just got all-terrains. But he ended up helping me get up in the end there. He sort of helped with some of the winching and that, and we're just going to camp up here with him tonight, up the top up here in the freezing weather. Up on sort of near Mount Skeen, and then yeah, we'll head back down towards Jemison tomorrow to get fuel because we're on about a quarter of a tank.
Why don't we just take the other round instead of going up the track?
Well, I want it to go the dumbest way possible.
I know, I hate you.
Classic dad.
I hate you.
What do you mean? It was fun. You got some epic photos. I nearly broke the car.
So now I'm coming for the whole roster. It's not a game while you playing with me. You could double back, lose track, try and hang with me. It must be in my veins, something you can't tame, cause I break.
Well, last night was the worst night of our lives.
No, I was fine, bro.
Kai was fine, he was sleeping up on top of Mount Skeen there. And when we pulled up, it was a little bit windy, but we thought it'd drop off, but instead it picked up. And then I looked and I realised there was actual wind warnings for the area. Up there was over 100 kilometre hour winds up on top of that mountain last night, and it was just chaotic. It was hardly got any sleep. It was so noisy. I slept with earplugs in, but just the whole car was rocking. The rooftop tent was flapping around. All the trees were just going crazy around us.
I think I actually heard a branch snap.
I heard a branch snap during the night as well near us. I'm surprised the rooftop tent survived, to be honest. I just kept waking up thinking it was going to crumble in on top of us, but it seems to be fine. We just packed up and got out of there this morning. Came down to Jemison. It's so nice down here. A little bit of rain around, but there's no wind. I really wish we came down off that mountain last night. We're on the river here. We're going to have a little bit of brekkie. Fast forward to the next day, we are actually home. After we had breakfast there in Jemison, the rain came back in and then the wind came in as well, and I just thought to myself, I just had enough of this mountain weather. We were meant to start heading home today anyway, so we just thought we'd come home a day early rather than head back out into the mountains again from where we were. Big drive home, got home nearly midnight last night, took us sort of 12-13 hours, massive drive from down there. Absolutely awesome trip away though, had so much fun, love the Victorian High Country. I'm already keen to go back there again and check out some new places, just so much to explore down there. It was amazing that we got that snow. It was just bloody freezing. It was so cold down there in the mountains. We were definitely frozen by then. We weren't properly prepared for conditions that cold. Also, look what was here when we got home, a new Harapy locker for Dad's MUX. We're gonna get that in over the next couple of weeks. Anyways, I'll start packing up, cleaning this car. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. I don't know how many parts this will be, maybe 4 parts, 5 parts. If you want to keep up with everything we do, I post all my photos and behind the scenes stuff on Instagram and Facebook as well. We have shirts, hoodies, singlets, stickers available on the website, which is tylerthompson.com.au. If you want to grab something over there, support the channel. Also have the Tyler Thompson rubbish bags as well, which I use for dirty clothes, firewood, rubbish, all different things. 2 for $20 with free postage, Australia-wide. And then the last thing is you can also support the channel over at Patreon to help with all this content I create. We've actually recently changed that over to monthly now, so you can just do like a monthly amount that you want to support and you get different benefits on each tier. And I'll do a behind the scenes video from this trip on there, which will do more detail of all the tracks we did, what they were like, where we camped, all those spots. So if you're keen to do a trip down the high country and want some extra information, then that's always a good place to go. Alright, enough talking. Thank you. See ya. I wonder, hopefully this wind, no, there's a bit of crap on the stuff there. There's nothing more I can do without either breaking something or rolling it. It's starting to get all bouncy. Those rocks are just like slicks. It just ran out of breath. Also, look what was here when we got. And then the last things, and then the very last thing, if you want to support the channel, you can also. And then the last thing.
Major look, huh? Yeah, this one is for the books. All these chances I took still. I move straight on these rooks now. Hold me up or hold me down. Have my back or hold my crown. Either you with me or not, but you better give all you got, cause I break this game. Can't control me.